Hello dear students, welcome to Devika's Commerce and Management Academy. In the last class, we have discussed about accounting theory, somewhat remembered, recollected about accounting. Now today we'll discuss about accounting standards introduction. What kind of accounting standards? Only Indian accounting standards we are going to discuss. IAS abbreviation. IAS means Indian Accounting Standards. Okay. Now, before going to the accounting standards, we know that in accounting we have certain rules and regulations, principles we have been following. Based on that, we are preparing the accounts. This is we know. But the same principles, to some extent, if any moderations, alterations have done and made it mandatory to follow, compulsory, you have to follow it. If any format is mentioned, then that will be called as accounting standards. For example, cash flow statement we prepare. General cash flow statement we prepare. But as per accounting standard, there is a different format. For those companies who wants to follow the accounting standards, only for them it is applicable. Others, not mandatory. Certain companies, they wanted to follow the Indian accounting standards only. They have to be very careful and they have to follow the same format because it is universal format they'll be following. Anyhow, today's class we are going to discuss in depth of Indian accounting standards. Accounting, what is accounting standards, nature, and different types of accounting standards, advantages, disadvantages, all these things we'll see today. Okay, stay connected. Easy, very easy, you can understand it. Now first of all, what is accounting standards? In one or two lines we can mention it like this. Accounting standards are written statements. What is accounting standards? These are written statements which are issued by the professional body. Professional bodies like ICAI. Okay. So this is issued by professional body and it contains uniform rules and practices. What it contains? Uniform rules and practices which acts as the basis for preparing financial statements. These rules and regulation, these formats are going to work for the mainly preparation of the financial statements. Once again, you read it now. Accounting standards, AS. Accounting standards are written statements which are issued by the professional body and it contains uniform rules and practices which acts as the basis for preparing financial statements. Understood? This is prepared by the professional bodies like ICAI. And whatever they mentioned to each and every particular aspect like balance sheet format, cash flow statement format, like few formats they have mentioned. Those formats only we need to follow, that is uniformity, for the uniformity purpose. And even the financial statements also related to that, few accounting standards we have to follow which are mentioned by the professional bodies. Okay. Now nature of accounting standards. What is the nature of accounting standards? In 4 points we can learn. One is it acts as a service provider. It is going to give a service, like you have to follow this, you have to prepare like this, like a service kind of thing is providing by the accounting standards. It is going to guide you, and in the same way here acts as a guide to accountant. Service they are giving and also giving guide. Guide means nothing but how to do, a small guidance, so that is also giving by the accounting standards if you follow it. And serves as a harmonizer means same format you have to follow it. Everyone has to follow the same one universally, or at least some country wise same standards we wanted to follow. So it acts as a harmonizer and also serves as a dictator. Mandatory, you have to follow it. There is no other change, there is no other option also. So like we can say it as it's a dictator. 4 points, nature of accounting standards. Now if you see the scope of accounting standards, only simple 6 points are there, easy to remember. First one is accordance with the law. So this is not simply prepared. You will see in the coming classes the process of preparing accounting standards. It's not simply prepared. There is a process. Accordance to the law, law is also involved, law, company law. So according to that, whatever they decide, whatever they proceed, so that is accordance with the law, not blindly. In the same way, implementation of accounting standards. Implementation of accounting standards also depending on the organization. Most of the organizations who are having a lots of worth of what do you say, capital, and also whose business is worth of millions or trillions, so those companies, if they decide it that they wanted to follow accounting standards, they have to follow it. So that is, implementation of accounting standards depends on the organization. And also uniformity, just now we have discussed, accounting standards are mentioning certain rules and regulations. The same rules and regulations you have to follow, means we are going in a uniformity way, same principles, same method, no change from organization to organization, branch to branch, company to company. When we go ahead, you will come to know that format is same. I have to follow the same formula, I have to check the same format, I have to proceed the same method. So in that way, uniformity is also there. And also focus, their focus while preparing the accounts, especially financial statements, while preparing these accounts, their focus should be to follow only the accounting standards only, not anything else. Okay, means their focus will be only on that area, on that rules and regulations, whatever is mentioned by the authorities, like ICA has mentioned some Indian accounting standards, IAS. So the same thing they are going to focus. And formulation and expression of financial statements, whatever is mentioned, the same formulations, the same format, the same expression, the same pattern needs to be followed by the financial statements. Okay. And lastly, rules and regulations. Rules and regulations also, whatever they said, the same rules and regulations to be changed, no alterations, no changes at all. Simple. Altogether the scope of accounting standards is, whatever accounting standards IAS, Indian accounting standards, are already prepared, the same format, the same method, the same rules and regulations, without any changes, without any alterations, they have to follow it as it is. The same matter we mentioned in different points. Got it? Now let's see the types of accounting standards. There are two types of accounting standards. One is evaluation and implementation perspective. Implementation perspective point of view, three types of accounting standards are there. How to implement it? Second one is subject matter perspective, subject point of view. Once again, three types of accounting standards are there. Let's focus on first evaluation and implementation perspective. According to that, we have first method is accounting standards developed over a period of time. This is developed over a period of time. After certain period of time, whatever accounting standards are evaluated or introduced, okay, so those accounting standards are following according to this method. As the changes are going on, according to that we'll be following. So that is accounting standards developed over a period of time, right from the beginning. Second one is accounting standards developed by private organizations. There are some private organizations, they have developed some accounting standards for themselves only, for the smooth handling of the organization, for smooth handling of the business. Best example, you can take stock exchange. Stock exchange is having its own rules and regulations, accounting standards. They are following that one only. So that comes under the second category, accounting standards developed by the private organization. Stock exchange is private, not government. In the same way, accounting standards developed by the government. When government has mentioned that these are the accounting standards you have to follow, compulsory, mandatory, they have to follow. This is applicable specially mandatory for the government organizations. What are the government organizations? There are many examples you can take: electricity companies, LICs, banking sectors, okay, like that. Such kind of organizations, they have to follow the accounting standards which are mentioned by the government. The third one is, it's from the government side. First one is after a period of time, whatever is mentioned, that they'll be following it. Second one is it's purely for the private organization. They have set up certain accounting standards. They are following that. Third one is government is mentioning few accounting standards that is to be applicable to the, especially for the government organizations. It is compulsory and mandatory. They can't escape it. They can't ignore it. This is about the implementation perspective. Okay. Second one is subject matter perspective. According to the subject, first one is disclosure standards. Disclosure standards means certain format or certain standards we are following. Out of this accounting standards, few accounting standards we are following, that is to be disclosed by the organization. Means they have to mention it very clearly that this is we are following it. Means disclosing, expressing, conveying without any hiding. If that is the case, automatically that is to be continued always, and in the coming years also, whoever is maintaining the accounts, whoever is going for the auditing, they'll not have any confusion at all, because it's already disclosed very clearly. We are following accounting standard of so and so number. There are some numbers, accounting standard 1, accounting standard 2, 10, 20, like some numbers are missing, means deleted or some alteration have done. Anyhow, for every rule and regulation we have some number, so that is we are following. That's what we are disclosing. So that is why we say it as a disclosure standards. Second one, presentation standards. Presentation standards means whatever we are following, that is we are presenting in a proper way, expressing in a proper way. And here content standards. Content standard means which accounting standard you are following it. That content you have to present it, and very clearly you have to mention about that. This is about the subject matter perspective. Okay, implementation and subject matter perspective. Then after that, let's see what are the advantages. Advantages of accounting standards, very easy to understand. Accounting standard means certain rules and regulations which are mandatory and compulsory by the professional bodies, and these are accounting standards. If you follow this accounting standards for your organization, what kind of benefits? The first one is helps in minimizing differences. Minimizing the differences. If you find any kind of indifferences or any kind of changes, that we can minimize it because we are following so and so accounting standard. Very clear, need not to worry, so that we can minimize the differences. Second one, aid in comparison. So this is very easy to compare, because as we are following certain rules and regulations, accounting standard, everything is we are following. Comparison is easy. Same pattern, same method. How to compare it? Previous year to this year you can compare. And also our one branch to another branch you can compare. One company to another company you can compare it, because standards are same. Same method we are following it. So this comparison is very easy and you can go ahead. This is another advantage. Third one is disclosure of information. Here, if you are following accounting standard, so and so accounting standard, we have to mention it. We are disclosing the information that we are following so and so. When we are disclosing the information, there is no confusion at all. Clarity you will be getting about the organization. So this disclosure of information, another advantage. Next, accurate results. Results also accurately you will get. Somebody is following some other method, another one is following another method. No certain indifferences or confusions and different methods. No, only one method, that is accounting standard method we are following. So whatever results you get it, that is accurate, following the same method. Accurate results you'll get. So according to that, what do you do when you get accurate results? What do? You can have analysis like results are like this, so how we can improve it, how can we go, and where does the difference comes, which area is weak, that weak area, how we can develop it. Question marks, and answer also from your side some changes. That is about the accurate results. Next, increase in value. Increase in value means the accounting standards are same method we are following. Then automatically accounts will be in a standard format. When we are following standard format, so that increases the value of the accounts, value of the method. So organization can confidently say that we are following so and so method. If somebody comes for verification or auditing, they can say that we are following this one. So that is going to increase the value of the organization. Next, determination of efficiencies. Efficiency is also going to be increased. All the accountants are following the same method. Then if any doubts comes, they can discuss among themselves. So their efficiency is also going to increase, means they'll be perfect. They'll be perfect and they'll be following the same method. Next, credibility and reliability. This information, as per the accounting standards, if we follow, the company's credibility is going to increase and also reliability also. Everyone will come to know this accounting standard they are following, means we can check it easily. The trust it, that reliability is going to increase. And lastly, reduced workflow. Work also it is going to decrease a little bit, because same standard we are following for the last so many years, then automatically everyone is addicted to the same format, everyone knows the rules and regulations, the workflow is also going to a little bit decreasing. So reduced workflow. So these are the advantages. Apart from advantages, do we have disadvantages? Few disadvantages. One is difficulties in implementation. Difficulties in implementation means everyone cannot understand accounting standards, because for the past so many years, many people are following certain rules and regulations related to the accounts. Accounting principles like concepts, conventions, accounting rules like personal account, real account, nominal account, all these things people are following. Suddenly, if you make some changes, this accounting format you have to follow, this accounting standard you have to follow. Implementation a little bit difficult for the new people. Everyone cannot easily adopt this method. This is one drawback. Another one is no specification. They mentioned accounting standards, but specifically they did not mention it clearly. Few concepts, everything is not so transparent, so easy to understand, so there is no specification. Next one is lack of flexibility. Accounting standards they mentioned, but according to the need, according to the requirement, some kind of flexibility must be given by the accounting standards, IAS, but no flexibility, rigid rules and regulations that you have to follow it. If some flexibility would have been given, then that would be comfortable and convenient for the organizations. We'll follow, but according to our changes, according to our requirement, according to our convenience, we can just make it a change. So that kind of flexibility is not there, and scope is also very limited scope. And high cost and low profit. Understanding these accounting standards, making them familiar, implementing and employing the efficient accountants, staff to implement these accounting standards is a costly one. And also profit is also not so much, because if you follow the traditional methods without implementing accounting standards, doesn't matter, but if you follow this one, is also not much difference, and moreover it is costly, and if you see the result, not so difference comes. Last one is rules and framework. Certain rules and framework we have to follow it. So if you follow the same rules and regulations, sometimes you may not get the proper results. This could be another drawback. Okay, simple thing. What is accounting standard means? A small understanding, you got it. Okay, take a screenshot. Hope it is clear. In the coming classes, we'll go ahead in depth of this accounting standard subject. Stay connected and study well. Have a bright career. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to share your success also. Good luck.